Paul Pierce, a basketball Hall of Famer, is now joining us in the herd. He was on Undisputed this morning. 19 years with the NBA. You know, I was thinking about this. 19 years in the NBA. That's a run.
I'll say 17.
Why?
I mean, Clippers 2 years was kind of like on the bench, player coach.
They were paying you.
Yeah, but like I'll probably say Washington Wizards was last year. After our call game, that was it.
But when you have been in the league this long, you obviously went through some wars. Those Laker championship series were huge. The Denver-Minnesota one's weird, Paul.
Yeah.
Denver looked cooked.
They did.
Did you think the series was over after 2 games?
I would never count a champion team out. You know what I'm saying, Colin? Because I was like looking at the past because I was like, man, I wonder if there's what teams came back from 0-2 losing on the road. And so I looked at all the teams, and the one that stood out the most was the Rockets 94. You know, they beat Phoenix and they went on to win the championship. So, but previously they weren't champs. This team is a champion. So they got something inside that can be like, all right, we can find another gear.
Okay, so you played with the Celtics. You were champions. Yeah. So what when you say play like champions? The year after, you did get to the finals, I believe, again, lost to the Lakers. Yeah. Meta hit those threes. But what is it about being a champion? Does it change practice, habits, thought? What does it do?
It changes like your mentality, your confidence, and you understand the road, and you know a place that you can get to if you need to get there again mentally. You know, it's hard. Like, I don't know, if you hear certain champions in basketball, I don't know how this is in other sports, they push the button. So, like, that means they know how to take it up another level.
And you guys did.
And we knew how to do that because the year we went to the second finals, we was the 4th seed. And we were like, all right, you know, we were an older team, but we knew how to play at another level that we didn't play in the regular season because of us being a championship team, because we know what that looks like. We know what that feels like.
Right.
You know, and they know what that looks like. When Denver beat the Lakers in the first round, they beat them, but I said that they didn't play good at all. Right. They were down every game. Yeah. They could have lost every game. Yeah. And I was like, this is not Denver basketball. I didn't see Denver basketball until game 3 of this series. And I was like, okay, this is the team that I saw win the championship. And then they displayed it again in game 4. And I was like, all right, this is a team that might not lose another game to Minnesota, the team I saw last night.
Yeah, I mean, they have some offensive dexterity. Jokic. You know, it's funny. The NBA, generally in my life, the stars have been magnificent. It's been LeBron and Kobe and MJ and Dr. J. And then here comes Jokic. Mm-hmm. And it's not aesthetically that pleasing. It's a lot of putbacks. Yeah. But I will say,
he's more Bird-like.
A little bit. I think that's a good comp. Like you Bird was gifted, but a lot of it was high IQ, angles, figuring out ways to end up with 28 on an off night.
Ain't that what we see from Joker?
Yeah.
You just described Joker if I didn't know any better.
Yeah. The junk points. Not that he's not gifted and Bird wasn't. That's not the point.
Slow 3. The pushing it up court, the dimes, the rebounding.
Right.
I mean, he can give you 30. I mean, this is like the new version of Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear many people talking about it, but this is exactly what I see. Not overly fast, the smartest player on the court every time he steps on the court. He just picks you apart like a surgeon. He's just like dissecting. He's like a sniper, a surgeon, those things that just very precise and methodical at everything he does.
Yeah. You know, I read a story this morning. I kind of feel bad for Frank Vogel. I mean, he's made a great living. A lot of times he's making money not working. He's been fired.
Yeah, that's the best job in the world right now.
Vogel's got a lot of money, and
he just let that home collecting $7 million a year. Go golf.
But I'm reading the Beal thing didn't work. And the Kevin Durant, there's a story this morning. He didn't really connect with Vogel. And you know, I was told Booker was closer to an assistant coach on the staff than he was. And I look at Phoenix right now, and the owner sounds like, hey, we're going to double down, and we're going to bring another veteran coach in. And I think we just did that. And like Budenholzer's got a title, Vogel had a title.
Yeah.
Do you think the players think this is the answer?
I'm not sure. I think this was a lateral move. I think the thing that didn't work out was the players on the court. I think it just wasn't a good mix of players. Bradley Beal, Booker, and Kevin Durant are all similar players.
Yeah.
You know, none of them like to really take a back seat. They're all pretty much not really ball dominant, but scorers. You know, you get them the ball in their spots and you tell them to go score. None of them are really great at playmaking. They can, but that's not what they do.
That's right.
That's not what they do. You know, they've always been known throughout their course of their history in the league to be scorers. They've all each probably averaged 30 at some point. Bradley's done it. KD's done it. I mean, Booker's come close to doing it.
Right.
And so it just wasn't a good mix. You know, you get these names together these days, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. You know, everybody, you know, takes on the ideal of maybe this could be a super team and we can turn this and figure it out.
But you guys had different skills. KGU, Rondo, Allen, you all had different games.
Different games completely. You know, I think I was more of a inside, outside. I could spot. I could do different things. Ray was a great shooter. KG was inside and great passer. So our games complemented each other. We didn't get in each other's way. You know, even when you look at the Miami Heat with LeBron Wade, they got in each other's way at time until they figured it out.
Right. They did.
You know, it didn't happen right away.
That's right.
And they had to learn that. And so, in saying that, it's just that they got some roster flaws over there in Phoenix that they have to address. I think they need to make a trade. You know, do they trade for the future? Do they trade for the now? Do you trade for the future? And saying that, you trade Kevin Durant for some draft picks and, you know, rebuild with Booker moving forward and possibly trade Bradley Beal. Do you rebuild to go now? Probably look to trade Bradley Beal to get some playmaking and add some depth. I don't know. That's the choice that the new general manager is going to have to make, but you know, he's definitely made a splash since coming in, the owner.
Yeah.
You know, he's fired a coach. He's traded for Durant.
Big swings.
Fired another coach. I think this is the second coach he fired. They had Monty Williams, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, he spent a lot of money, so he's showing he's ready to spend some money, so we'll see.
It's funny when I think generally in my life, there is an alpha to the NBA because basketball, it's a playground game. Mm-hmm. Most of the great players talked a little trash.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and it's right. By the way, like everybody gets it. Nobody takes it personal. And like in baseball, they take it personal. Like you throw at somebody. If you hit a homer off me, I'm throwing at you. Like basketball, everybody talks. Everybody's fun. It's a running dialogue.
Yeah.
And so Tatum's not really that guy. And so I've said this, it's not a criticism. Now, J-Mac loves him. He had him top 3 in the league a couple years ago, and I said top 5. And I said, his mentality isn't really alpha. I know he's gifted, but there are times I think Jaylen Brown wants the ball more.
Yeah,
and I
can see that.
The thing with Boston I can't get past, the East has been weak for several years. They're a 500 playoff home team.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling.
And to me, it's like, that's sort of Tatum. He picks his spots. He's not hyper-aggressive.
Yeah.
Like you kind of are your star. The Lakers were cocky. I always felt you guys, it was tough. Rondo get into a street fight. KG. You could be finesse.
Yeah.
But you were fighters. I feel like this Boston team takes on Tatum's personality. They're nice.
I mean, that's not a bad assessment because a lot of teams take on the personality of their best player or their coach. Usually, and that's I can see that it can be hot or cold sometimes, and you know there's times where you see Tatum a little more fiery than others, and, you know, but for the most part it comes off as a calm personality, you know, win or lose, and so that's a pretty good assessment right there.
Yeah. And it's not a knock on him.
No, it's not a knock. I didn't look at it as a knock.
No, he doesn't have generally the one mentality. Like for years, Anthony Davis. I had talked to somebody in the league. He said, Anthony's the best 2 in league history, but he doesn't necessarily want to be. Now, this year, Anthony played like a 1, and I would never deny his talent is a 1.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't. Like, you could say what you want about Joker. He just wanted the ball. He wants the offense to run through.
But see, it's like sometimes people's games speak for them. Like Joker, he's a dog, right?
Yeah.
But in an interview or in a conversation,
nice guy.
You wouldn't hear it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's times where Tatum's a dog, but you're not. It doesn't always come out personality-wise, but a lot of people let their game show it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's no question what we saw Joker did last night spelled dog. Like, he just took it to the Defensive Player of the Year, took it to the top defense, and just shredded them. But he didn't do it he didn't have not one mean look on his face.
I get it. Paul Pierce joining us. I haven't talked a lot about Dallas because this series, young OKC, a lot of people don't know the player. So we haven't talked a ton about it. Mm-hmm. But I would say it is impressive that Luka, in the middle of a series, has stepped back, kind of let Kyrie take some of the ball handling.
Yeah.
And that's hard for stars to do. I mean, Kobe could be stubborn to a fault.
Yeah.
You read the books on the Lakers, like Kobe was fighting when they were the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Luka's in the process of it. But in the last couple of games, they're 9-0 when the usage rate is under 30.
Yeah.
That, to me, I look at that and I think, oh, so Luka, you can sit down and have a grown-up conversation with him. He's not going to get defensive. Is it hard if a coach would have come to you at any point in your prime and said, I need 3 fewer shots?
Wait, is that just in the playoffs or just the regular season, that 9-0?
No, 9-0 this year when his usage rate is under, meaning P.J. Washington gets more touches.
So that means he still go over usage too much.
Way too much.
Out of like all over the 80 games he's played, only 9. And I think a lot of that, so that's including playoffs.
Yeah, no, so they can win when it's over the usage rate.
Yeah.
But they've yet to lose.
They haven't lost it yet.
When it's under.
Well, I think he has to take a read into that and say, but I think some of that, if they're winning the playoffs in these last 2 games, if his usage rate was under 30 and they won those 2, I think that injury may be a blessing in disguise. I think some of those things are slowing him down because he's getting a rebound or he's getting an outlet. He's just throwing it ahead because he can't push it as much because his knee is bothering him or his back is bothering him. But he's like, whoa, hold on. I'm getting something out of P.J. Washington now. Oh, wow, Tim Hardaway Jr. is knocking down shots now. So now as he continues to heal his wounds as the series goes on or they advance, he could figure out like, oh, okay, I need these guys more than I thought. And I don't have to go for 30 for us to win. So hopefully this is a learning experience if they make it through this series with OKC. And I always said it's tough for me to see somebody winning with this James Harden style. You know, when the last time somebody won with the highest usage rate in the league? It just doesn't happen.
Right.
It doesn't equal championship basketball. When I watched Denver last night, and the ball movement, the extra pass, I was watching poetry in motion. It wasn't one guy doing all the dribbling. So hopefully Luka realizes that, because if he realizes that, this Dallas team could be dangerous, and you could possibly see them in the finals, because I do think they'll be OKC. I do think they'll be in the conference finals. And the one ingredient that you need to be in the finals is an MVP caliber player, and Luka is that.
Yeah. Are there times, you have to be delicate with it, like in the NFL, we did this a couple weeks ago. It's like 4 of the last 5 passing leaders either didn't make the playoffs or didn't win a game. Fans love when their star drops 44. Lakers for years and years with Kobe. Every time he scored over for like 40, they were like a 500 team.
Yeah.
Have there been times you've been in locker rooms and the coach comes in and says, guys, there's a data point here. We got to look at, and they're just like, we can't do this. You as players may think it's great, but have you ever had a coach come in and just say, Doc, hey, this actually crushes us?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Paul, you need to pass more. I mean, but I'm like, you know, but I'm looking like, you know, look who I'm passing to. You know, like this is before Ray and Kevin got there.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, shoot, me taking a bad shot is better than him taking an open shot. I mean, it just was the truth at the time. And so, but then you bring the data in. This is when analytics started coming into play.
That's right, beginning of your or end of your career.
Yeah, it started coming into play. You start looking like, oh, okay. You know, when you go right, when you pull up half mid-range, when you on the right side of the court, you know, and you start looking at this data, and it's just like, wow, you know, but like it can't measure my heart.
Yeah.
It can't measure my heart when it's the clutch.
But you didn't mind passing the KG once he got there.
No, I didn't mind passing the KG. Of course not.
No, those were great teams, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, Ant and MJ, I think it's funny. Everybody's like freaking out that there's comps between the two. But Ant is such a great trash talker.
Yeah.
I think he kind of likes it. We're not saying he's going 6 for 6.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, when I watch it, I think Kobe was a little Michael. I look at Ant and I'm like, I see some Michael.
Absolutely. And the reason you say that is because Ant is the best player at 22.
Yes.
You know, Kobe wasn't the best player.
No.
At 22.
We rushed him in. Remember the All-Star game in Utah?
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't MJ yet.
No. He wasn't MJ until Shaq left, and you started seeing the more of the MJ-ness when he's scoring 60 in 3 quarters and doing all that, because he had 3 championships, by the way. So now when you see a young kid doing it, and it's unbelievable to see a 22-year-old just leading the team, talking the way he's talking, scoring the way he's scoring, charismatic the way he is, and you can relate to him. Man.
That's what you said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you gravitate toward him. And it's like, who else in the league can you say that about as an American player? Yeah, we all love, I'm wearing the Tatum shoes now, but, it's just like certain players that kids watch that hear him talk and be like, man, that's how I am when I'm on the playground. And, he's just being himself and, just doing things that I wish I can do. And it has a flair to it.
Right.
And it's exciting to watch. And he checks all those boxes.
No question. It's funny that he's cocky, but simultaneously likable.
Yeah.
Like, I like him. He comes up and talks trash, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a nice guy I could go have a beer with. That's a cool guy.
See, the thing is with us, the great athletes, or the greatest of the great, there's a thin line between cockiness and confidence. Does he believe in himself? Absolutely. Does he take accountability? Absolutely. But I feel like you gotta have some type of cockiness, nastiness to you if you want to get to the top.
And that's what I said with Tatum. Sometimes I don't see it.
Yeah.
With Ant, I absolutely see it.
You absolutely see it. But it comes in all forms too. But the majority of the guys at the top, got it. Like when we talk about MJ, when we talk about
KG had it.
Oh, KG was probably top 5 in that aspect. I mean, Iverson, Kobe, of course. You just talk about, and then other people do it differently. Like Magic Johnson did with a smile on his face.
Right.
It was like,
right.
Take this, laugh and smile at, and so, but you like the guys who do it with that kind of cockiness, because you like, ooh, they mean. They gonna just step on you and just not give you no mercy, give you a chance to get back up.
Good foxhole guys.
Good foxhole guys. And that's who your
Game
teammates,
7 guys.
That's who you want to be in the foxhole with, guys like that. They don't care if they back against the wall, like the movie 300. That's Ant right there. That's Ant. He'll lead 300 people against 10,000 and feel confident he can win.
Right. Great seeing you, my man.
Always.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.